What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel. And today we are going to be talking about rankings, because it's kind of it's been a little bit of a slower couple of days, week or so in the NFL world, the news world. And we're getting close to training camps being started for everybody. There's a few teams that are back already for training camps, but not every team is going to camps yet. So we're kind of in that little bit of a dead period before the start of the preseason, before everybody's back at training camps, and then all the other off-season stuff. So it's kind of a dead period a little bit here. But ESPN did release a day or two ago, or however long it's been, I don't know. They had some rankings for teams that they feel like are set up for the next 3 years to be like the best teams in the league. And they've done, I think, all 32 teams, but I'm only going to focus on the top 5 because the top 5 is very interesting, I thought. So here's the future rankings, basically, is how they have it. They have, obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs number 1. No surprise there, because ESPN gets a chubby for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs anytime they breathe. So Kansas City is number 1. Number 2 took me by surprise a little bit, but I understand why they have them there. I understand their reasoning behind it. It's just a little bit confusing because we're looking and we're talking about future power rankings and how the teams are going to look 2 or 3 years down the road. And they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champions. Now, I'm not saying that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't going to possibly go back-to-back this year. I'm not saying that. They have all the right to do that. The odds are very much in their favor to do that. But we're talking 3 years down the road. Who knows if Tom Brady's even going to be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And if he is the quarterback, who knows how good he's going to be? Now, I, as much as anybody, know not to doubt Tom Brady about his age. And we're not going to get into a whole Tom Brady rant. I've done that many, many times on this channel. We're not going to get into that. I'm just going to simply focus on ESPN's rankings. They have Tampa Bay number 2. So we'll talk about that in a second. Number 3, they have the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, former MVP. Now, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens is an interesting one because I can see them definitely in the top 5. 3 might be a little bit generous, in my opinion, only because I feel like the team behind them at number 4 is probably a little bit better. And that team is the Buffalo Bills. Yes. I, for some reason, am just in love with the Buffalo Bills this year, even though they're in my division and I'm supposed to hate them, and I do. I do hate them. But how can you not respect what they've done in Buffalo? They are ready to go. They are championship contenders, no doubt. And judging by, obviously, what they do on the field this season, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing them in January in the AFC Championship game. It's going to be hard to deny them that. Josh Allen, I've said this many times, Josh Allen, I think, is going to be an MVP candidate, and if not, win the MVP this year. So that's just me saying that. And then number 5 is the Cleveland Browns. That may take some of you by surprise. Maybe you thought it was going to be the Packers, or maybe you thought it was going to be some other team in the NFL. Nope. ESPN thinks it's going to be the Cleveland Browns for the next 3 years as the top 5 team in the league. Now, let's break down these teams. So let's go by quarterback of the NFL team. So number 1, obviously, is the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. He's obviously going to be probably one of the best quarterbacks for the next 10 years, let alone the next 3. Then you've got number 2, Tom Brady. We'll get to him in a second. Lamar Jackson is on the Ravens. He is number 3 on the list. Well, the Ravens are number 3 on the list. He's probably going to be a top 5 quarterback for the next 10 years, I would think, the way that his career is going so far. Number 4 is Josh Allen. He's also super young, and he's probably going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. Number 5 is Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker Mayfield is a little bit interesting because he's had some up and down seasons in his young career. He looked really good at the end of last season. He didn't look he didn't look good last year, or I should say the year before. But he turned it around last season, looked really good, got some more consistency under his belt, and who knows, what Baker are we going to get? The Browns are a hard one to decide because of Baker Mayfield. What Baker are we going to get? Are we going to get the Baker from his rookie year and from last season where he was really good? Or are we going to get the Baker from his sophomore season where he was not the greatest? Are we going to get that Baker? I don't know. That really, the Browns' season really depends on how Baker Mayfield plays because their defense is good. Their defense doesn't really have any questions about it. I mean, I guess you could say the linebackers are kind of a question, but their DBs are kind of solid. They added that rookie in the draft. He's really good. Who they get, like, is his name like Newsome the second or something like that? They've obviously got Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, two of their best defensive players, two of their best players. So their defense is good. There's no worries about their defense. Their offense seems to be good. They've got a top 5, top 3 running back in the league in Nick Chubb, depending on who you ask. They've got Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry as their 2 top wide receivers, plus some guys underneath them that are pretty consistent, pretty good when called upon. They've got a good tight end in David Njoku. If he wants to play, then he's a really good tight end. They've also got that young rookie that was last year's rookie. I forget his name, Hunter Bryant, I think it was, or Harrison Bryant, something like that. He's there as well. He's pretty good. So the team is good. The Browns team, I hate to say this because I like to see the Browns fans suffer when the Browns are bad. That was always fun for me. But the Browns team is good. There's no denying that. And it all rides on how good is Baker Mayfield going to be. Is he going to be a good version of himself or is he going to be a lackluster version of himself? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like everything else. But the reason I wanted to not break down Tom Brady yet until the end was because the age factor. Now, I know in a previous video when we talked about what was I talking about? I don't even remember where I was talking about something about Patrick Mahomes being better than Tom Brady. Oh, it was the Dan Orlovsky list. That's right. The list Dan Orlovsky gave about his top quarterbacks right now, and he had Patrick Mahomes 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, and Brady 3. That's right. That's why I was talking about that. So I know that I said in that video that the age doesn't matter, but that was talking about right now. Okay? We're talking about 2 or 3 years down the line. Now, Tom Brady, mid-40s, played all of last year with a torn MCL, if you believe the reports, which I would assume that you would, and won the Super Bowl on a torn MCL. Now, Brady doesn't really need the MCL. None of the stuff that he does really requires movement to be able to do. I mean, obviously it does because he moves up and down the pocket. He makes time for his receivers to get open. He does all that stuff inside the pocket. But we're not talking about Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray here where he's running out of the pocket, extending plays and doing all that stuff where he needs a fully functioning MCL. So Tom Brady's age does come into factor when we're talking about future stuff. Because Patrick Mahomes, what is he, like 25, 26, something like that? Not very old. Josh Allen, not that old. Lamar Jackson, not that old. Baker Mayfield, not that old. So all of these teams, 4 out of the 5 teams, all have really young, really good quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has a really good, really old quarterback. So maybe not this year, but next year or the year after, Tom Brady could start to slip. I don't know. It looked like he was starting to slip his last year in New England, at least by my estimations and my watching of the games, because I had to watch them all. He looked like he was starting to slip a little bit. Looked like Father Time was starting to catch up to him. But maybe that was just a factor of he didn't really want to be there anymore. The team was not good around him. And then look what he did the year after. He goes back and he wins the Super Bowl. So who knows what Tom Brady, whenever he's going to fall off. If he will ever fall off. Maybe he'll just retire on top. I don't know. But you can't confidently say that Tom Brady is going to be at the top of his game 3 years down the road. That's going to put him close to 50. He's going to be on the other side of 45 at that point. I don't know if Tom Brady, yes, all of the evidence says he's going to keep going until he's 90 years old. But physically, you just can't, no matter what kind of Tom Brady you get, no matter what kind of TB12 diet he does, what kind of workout regimen he does, Father Time is going to catch up to you. It catches up to everybody, whether you like it or not. Father Time will catch you. And I hate to say this because Tom Brady's my favorite player. But Father Time's going to catch up to him. Now, it's probably not going to be this season. It may not even be next season. Maybe year number 3 of this. Maybe it catches up to him. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say when Father Time catches up to you? For Brett Favre, it caught up to him when he was in New York. Well, some would say it caught up to him when he was in Minnesota, but he went to the conference, he went to the conference championship game in Minnesota anyway. So I guess you say that. Peyton Manning caught up to him. Some could say it caught up to him in Indianapolis with the neck injuries, but then he won a Super Bowl and had like a amazing historic season in Denver. So maybe it didn't catch up. I don't know. But eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Father Time will get you. And Tom Brady is no different. It's not like he may have made a deal with the devil to play till he's 50. Who knows? But it's going to catch up to him. And so I'm just a little bit confused about this list because 4 out of the 5 teams all have really good, really young quarterbacks. And then the defending world champions have a really good, really old quarterback. But this list isn't talking about this year or next year. This list is talking about who's going to be the best teams in the league 3-4 years down the line. And this is the list they came up, at least the top 5 of who they came up with. I don't know. How good's Tom Brady going to be? It's too early to tell. I don't know. Humanity can't figure out Tom Brady because he shouldn't really be playing at this high level now. So there's no reference to this. Yeah, there was some guys back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s who played when they were in their 40s or even maybe into their late 40s, 50s even. But they weren't Tom Brady. Like they didn't have the regiments. They didn't have the training. They didn't have the knowledge of how to keep your body in good shape. They were smoking cigarettes and cigars on the sidelines. They were eating hot dogs at halftime. They didn't have the knowledge, the nutrition, and all this stuff that Tom Brady has nowadays. So there's no mold for this. There's no reference point to look back on and say, oh, well, judging by the past, so-and-so retired at this point. Most guys retire by this point. So Tom Brady is probably going to get to this point and then start to fall off. We don't know that because nobody's ever done this before. Nobody, at least at this high of level, nobody's ever done this. So it's hard to say, but I can't come to mind a reason why Tom Brady would be this good this late into his career and this old of an age. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll be 45 years old, 46 years old, and winning his 10th Super Bowl. Who knows? It just depends on the pieces around him and how good his body holds up. But I'm a little bit concerned by this list because they're trying to decide who is going to be good 3-4 years down the road. We just don't know about Tom Brady. Most of us assume he's going to be good 3 or 4 years down the road. He may not even be in the league 3 to 4 years down the road. So I'm a little bit confused. I know it's a little bit of probably recency bias and just factors that Tom Brady's just always going to be good because we've never seen anything like it. That's why they put Tampa Bay in there and because they're defending champions. But I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say how he's going to play because we've never seen anything like it before. I don't know. Let me know down below what you guys think. If you guys think the same way that I think that Tom Brady's going to be possibly falling off 3-4 years down the road, maybe even sooner, who knows? Or if you think he's going to go till he's 90 years old. I don't know. Let me know down below what you guys think about this list as well. And comment your favorite color. I don't know why. Just do it. That's going to do it for me. Make sure to smash that like button if you did enjoy. Hit that notification bell and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.